Hey, this is Rickey with Juniques, Multicultural Connection and Gospel Musical Review. I am very excited and pleased to have Mr. Milton Wallace, who's a man of many talents, and he will be sharing that with you. We are in collaboration, joint venturing with allnationstv.com. I'm actually bringing a show to present on that channel. It's going to be Juniques Gospel Musical Review. And so, we're already sitting the scheduling. We just a matter of us putting the show on. So, without further ado, Mr. Wallace, thank you for joining us.
You are so welcome. I'm glad I can be here tonight.
Hey, listen, you have a lot of things going on. So right out the gate, I want you to go ahead and give your contact email or your contact phone number, because I already know people are going to want to know how to reach you when we finish this conversation.
Okay, you can reach me, Milton Wallace, at my email address is Milton Wallace, MiltonWallace, at sbcglobal.net. That's S as in Sam, B as in boy, C as in cat, global, global.net. That's how you can email me. My phone number is 940-368-4886.
Super. Thank you. So, folks, just so you know, Mr. Wallace is in many organizations and very much related to the gospel music industry. And he can share that with, he'll share the different groups he's in and the value of that. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because, thank goodness, by knowing Mr. Wallace, it allows Gospel Musical Review to have a strong contact in the gospel music industry. So, and I'm going to go ahead and call you Milton. Hey, Milton, tell people some of the organizations that you're involved with, what some of the goals are, and if they can get involved, let them know.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to share what I do, and hopefully it will inspire or help someone else to make that move instead of just sitting on the sideline. I am part of, first of all Nations TV. We are a 24/7 Christian television network. We provide a platform for ministries across the world to be able to have broadcasting capabilities. You don't necessarily have to be a preaching ministry. It can be interviews. It could even be community-type service programs that we do. We're just trying to help people grow as a person, to be better people as a whole. So we try to use positive programming that will help ministries as well as people to grow. So that's one thing. Now, on the other side of that, I work with different award shows. I work with the Texas Gospel Music Excellence Awards, which are held every February in Houston, Texas, where we recognize great ministries of music from across the country and across the world. So we do that. Then I'm also connected to the Praise Factor Awards in Atlanta, Georgia area. And we do the same thing there, but we're trying to provide that platform to promote positive energy and ministries around the country and around the world. So we are always looking for great talent that we can work with, that we can highlight, that we can promote. Even ministries, we try to put them out front, and businesses as well. Through our promotions and involvement in what we do, we try to give businesses an opportunity to have a platform on these different functions that we do, networks and other things. So that I'm involved with. Then also, I am connected to the Gospel Industry Network, or the GIN as it's known. And the purpose of the GIN is to provide a platform for all people involved in ministry, not just the singers, and that's the music ministry. It's not just the singers, but all the other facets, the radio, the graphic design, the producers, all those people as well, the promoters. We try to work with all them so that everyone is working on the same level and moving forward as a unit instead of all about me, mine, I. We try to help them to grow. We try to educate people about the music industry so that way they understand what is going on with them and their ministry that they're doing. And an offshoot of that is an organization that I'm the president of called the East Texas Gospel Music Professionals. It is housed here in East Texas, right outside of Tyler, but we have a worldwide effect, especially the U.S. We have people in a part of the program that are from Washington State, from New York, from Florida. So we have people all around the country that's a part of the East Texas Gospel Music Professionals. That's just the name. It's the ministry that we are promoting, that we're trying to do these things to help artists and to help all the different facets of the movement. So we take pride in that we are making a difference in people's lives and in the ministries that they do. So those are some things that involve ministry that I'm involved with at this time.
I hope that's enough. Good gracious. Listen, folks, this is the good news. So we are collaborating, pretty much joint venturing with Milton and all these various organizations that he's a part of. GMR is definitely a part of. At GMR, our goal is to go ahead and get more people involved with gospel music. So if you go to gospelmusicalreview.org, everything we're talking about right now, you're going to get more information on it. This interview will be also on that site, as well as we have a Patreon group that started, and that's free to sign up. And you can, again, all this information will be on the website, and you go ahead and sign up for that, because we are doing some really good activities to promote gospel music. One of the things that I'm focusing on is gospel music enthusiasts. And those are people who, like myself, we enjoy gospel music in all its various forms. However, we're not connected to any church or we're not with any group. We just like gospel music. And I also, because I have juniques multicultural connections, I'm also looking at the multicultural communities out there and their gospel. So you're going to hear a lot about this. And again, at gospelmusicalreview.org, all that information is going to be there for you. You can go take your time, because I am putting a ton of information over there. So, Milton, I know we've talked a lot about what's going on in the gospel music industry, and I think a lot of people, they hear it, they've heard people that are artists, but I don't think they really know all that's involved with the industry itself. What has been your experience with, and you deal with a variety of people, what have you found to be probably the most challenging thing for people to deal with who's trying to get into the gospel music industry?
Well, I think, first of all, the most challenging thing is you have to almost forget everything that you thought you knew about the industry to start with, because it is business. Just like I know when you talk to artists, a lot of times when they first come out the bat, want to be part of this industry, the first thing they say is, God called me to sing. Okay. And then we say, okay, that's wonderful. But now, who's going to take care of all the other stuff? Well, that's not my problem. God called me. No, that's we have to stop him right there and go, no, that is your problem right there, because the thing about it is that even though God called you to sing, he also gave you wisdom to know that you got to take care of your business that goes along with the singing. And so we try to equip folks to be able to have the knowledge to be able to deal with those things successfully. But that, to me, is the biggest challenge, because a lot of them just go out there willy-nilly kind of way, and they end up getting attacked by the wolves. And I don't mean in a negative way per se, but what I mean by that is that they are introduced to other people who promise them the world, because everybody wants to be a superstar, but promise them the world And reality is the world doesn't work like that.
Yeah, there's definitely, just like they say there's music business. So you got to learn music and then learn the business. Same thing with gospel. Doesn't change. There's gospel music, but then there's also a gospel business, and all those advertising, finding vendors for products and services, and then finding reliable people within the industry itself to work with all the various needs that happens when you get into the gospel business, when you're in the gospel ministry. Like you're just saying, a lot of people will say that, hey, it's just on my heart that I'm going to sing, and they think that's just it. You get a microphone, start singing, record something, and put a song out, and it's so much more. And here's the good news, folks. That's what Gospel Musical Review and AllNationsTV.com is addressing, and that's why we're getting one of the top persons in the gospel music industry to help work with us, give us information, give us guidance, help us make connections. This is not a business you want to, like in most businesses, you really don't want to go alone. You don't want to try to just think, hey, it's just me against the world and I'm going to succeed, because usually you aren't. It's definitely a team sport. Let's put it that way. And you need a lot of different people to help that success happen. One of the things we were talking about, we know there's a lot of different subgroups or genres within this genre called gospel music. One of the things you was mentioning, Milton, was a new category, I guess, or a new genre. It's Southern gospel. Is that correct?
No, it's actually called soulful country gospel music.
Okay.
Soulful country gospel music.
Now, is this a new component of gospel music?
Well, yes and no. Yes, it's new in name, but no, it's not new because it's been clumped in with everything else per se, pretty much. I mean, you got your people like that in the past that were like Ray Charles, even Charlie Pride, and folks like that they sung country music, gospel music, but they didn't, but it was just called, they just called it that. But it had a soulful sound to it. Now, what does soulful mean in this case? Soulful in this case means that it comes from the heart. It comes from the soul. It's deep within feelings of it. There's a meaning to the music. And I know you say, well, there's meaning to our music. Yeah, but this is a deep, enriched type of feeling that comes with your relationship with God more than anything else, is one of the things that goes on with it. So thus the name, and I want to make sure we get it correct. It is soulful country gospel music. Soulful country gospel music is the name of it.
Are there artists already in that group or subgroup of gospel?
Well, there's one in particular who's carrying the banner forward right now. He's known as Rickey. He is the banner or the poster child of soulful country gospel music. But there are others that sing it. They don't call it that. They just call it gospel music, pretty much. But it's but trying to because what happens is when you go to the radio stations and you're trying to get your music played, there are some, the music is wonderful, but they say it doesn't fit our venue of the music that we play. So it's one of those that's kind of out there in nowhere land. It's getting more acceptable as time moves on. But as far as a genre, but, they might say, well, I really like this song, but it just doesn't fit our format, that kind of thing. So you have a lot of those that are in that category. And so this is an attempt to give them a home as well.
Wow. That's what's so exciting about the gospel music industry itself, is ever evolving, ever changing, because life changes and the music reflects that. And so, because I'm old school. I'm Five Blind Boys, Jackson Southern Nares, James Cleveland. That's my world. But I do understand contemporary gospel now, neo soul gospel. I mean, I even have, but it's just interesting to look at all these different expressions of gospel. And then I've been to a couple of other groups outside of just black folks and listening to their expression of their gospel or their music of reverence. So again, this is what I'm so charged up about and excited about is that with the help of Milton and with allnationstv.com and Gospel Musical Review, we're going to be reaching all kind of folks, letting them be involved. Just like I said, we have gospel music enthusiasts who that's what they want to do. They want to know the artist. They want to hear the music, not necessarily be in a church house or looking for a church home. These are people like myself who just enjoy that gospel music, which also has a message in it and is enlightening and uplifting, and it's definitely needed.
Well, one of the things that I wanted to say, too, if you don't mind, is just like you said, there's room at the table for all. There is not that it's got to be just one or just two, because, first of all, God's table is large and huge and can handle any numbers that are there. And so we, adding additional types of music is a blessing. It is not a curse or never should be. But I think anytime anyone takes the time to lift God's name, no matter what it sounds like, or what version of it is, but if it's lifting God's name and it's, proclaiming everything that it needs to do, then I say we need to provide a space for it.
Oh, yeah, and that's one thing I appreciate, that you are so open to that's why you're such a blessing to the industry itself, because you're not locked into anything. I mean, so there's contemporary gospel out there, there's urban gospel, and then, like I said, there's other cultural groups that have their gospel expression. And here's what you just said. The key to it is, you're serving God. You're serving a power greater than yourself. And how people want to express that's a whole lot of ways. So that's the good news, and what I'm really going to make sure that our gospel music enthusiasts really get the connections they need. And for those who feel they want to be an artist or they want to be involved in the industry itself, there is a lot of positions that have to be filled for the music to be done. One of the things I thought about that you brought up, Milton, definitely want to put some light on this. So for the people that want to be gospel music vocal artists, not necessarily instrumentalists, but vocal artists, you were saying it's very important that they get a producer. Is that correct?
Right. They need to have someone that they work with that helps them to develop their sound, develop their ministry, develop it from that standpoint. It's not that you're going to be the sound of the producer or the person who's, working with you, but you can still have your own sound, which we want you to do anyway. But you sometimes have to be, it has to be fine-tuned, nurtured, all those things to get you where you need to be. It's similar to what it's just like saying, if you're singing off key, somebody needs to tell you. So the producer is the person that can, that works with you on your music to help you to define it, refine it, that it's to the level of quality, because you don't want to just put something out there for the sake of saying you did it. If you're going to do it, you might as well do it correctly so that you can get to maximize the benefit of it and bless as many people as you can. But if they can't stand to listen to it, they're not going to hear it. So you need to be able to provide your best. God wants your best in everything you do. And on this, it needs to be the same.
Now, so how does one go about finding a producer?
Oh, that can be interesting. Well, first of all, you want somebody that you feel comfortable talking to, and being able to share your vision or share where you're trying to go or what you're trying to do. But the main thing is that you don't just go out and get the first person that's out there that says, I'm a producer. You try to talk with them. You get an idea about what, who they are, first of all. Make sure that that they have their all their stories in the right place, and that they are connected to God. In this case, connected to God, and so that if He gives God gives a direction of things need to sound like this, you got the right sound, that kind of thing. And okay. So you want to find somebody though who has proven themselves to a certain extent. That would be your first place. So now there are some people that are coming up first time, and they got, you got to give them an opportunity. I'm not saying that. But the first thing is to talk around the people. Find out who other people are using. Find out their strengths and weaknesses. Find out what, and if they, do they kind of line up with where you're trying to go? Get an idea, and then interview the folks that you're considering. It's not that they're interviewing you, because they're going to do that anyway. But you need to interview them from the standpoint to make sure that they are grounded. Number two, that they are wanting to work with you. And, it's not just about a paycheck, because this becomes almost like a relationship from the standpoint of that they're becoming a part of you, and you becoming a part of them from the standpoint of where the music is going and how it's going to sound and what message you're trying to, relay and those kind of things. So you want to make sure that it's somebody who has the heart that you need to be able to do what you need to do.
Is there a cost associated with getting a producer, or does the producer just take you on and help produce some music?
No, there's going to be a cost. There's going to be a cost. There's got to be a cost, because they've got to pay for the equipment, all the things that they're doing as they're getting you ready to create this music. They've got to have the instruments. They've got to have the technology. They got to have all those things. So it comes with a cost. And so they're going to be they will be charging you something for, their services. So you don't get there thinking, well, since I'm singing God's songs, that it's going to be a walk in the park and I'm going to get everything I want. No, it's not. You're going to have to pay for some things, and you just have to face that reality. Now, if you get blessed, that's wonderful. But just don't go in with the thought that I am singing God's word, so everybody's just going to bow down to me.
Oh, wow. Again, that's what Gospel Musical Review will be bringing, this type of information to anybody who wants to be into the industry. It's a lot to being into any industry, but especially gospel music, because as large as gospel music is, you don't hear a lot about it. It's very fragmented, segregated. And yet everybody says, hey, yeah, God spoke to me and I want to sing this song. And it's like, yeah, like Milton was saying, that's fine. But there's a lot to it to do it right. And it's not just like, hey, I'm just going to sing this song and everything's going to be wonderful and people are going to hear me. Another area I like to touch on, Milton, is what is the impact going to be to gospel music artists from the thing called artificial intelligence?
Oh, my goodness. It is going to be a mind, body, and soul changer, because even at this point, there are songs being created through AI that are gospel songs. Some of them done very well. Some of them you can't really tell that they are done with AI because they sound so perfect and original and nice and all those things. And so that is going to add stress and strain to the artist. So they have to be, they cannot be conforming to whatever the world is going to be, whatever. They need to still keep their original sound, because that's what's going to make them unique, distinct, and different from the other. And so they need to make sure that they stay true to what they're doing. with the sound that God gave them, they need to continue to do that. But they need to use some of the tools through AI that are there that they might be able to, improve the quality of what they do. But it's not allow AI to take over and do everything. They need to learn how to master the tools that AI brings to the table and use some of them to help enhance what they're singing or saying or doing. But they should not let AI be the dominant factor.
Got you. So the originality still got to be there, even if you're going to use these AI tools to help enhance that originality. Because, this is going to be challenging for a lot of people that want to sing or even play instruments, because AI can do all of that. It can from start to finish. And so, people are going to have to be aware of the impact that's going to have. But I know record labels they're definitely looking at this, because if they can get pretty much a no-cost artist and it's selling. I mean, AI music is actually selling retail. So, artists, that's another something they got to be aware of how that's going to impact them. And again, that's why we're saying come to Gospel Musical Review. We're going to be talking about these subjects. We're going to help you as much as we can help you. Right now, we have a very low-cost membership, like at $7 a month. Just the basics things, but it's to help everybody get started, as well as a lot of free information that's going to be available to help people out. And then you got people like Mr. Wallace, who is definitely a genuine guy and will help you if you let him. He will help you, and he definitely has the contacts. This is not a guy that doesn't know what's going on. As he shared with you earlier, he's in a lot of organizations, and he is contacted by a lot of folks in the gospel music field or industry. And so that information is invaluable for all of us. I'm so grateful that I have him as part of my company and part of my association, and he's actually my mentor to help me navigate some of this stuff that happens, in the industry. So